Hey guys, welcome to Programming Knowledge. In the previous video, we discussed about overloading and overriding, and in this video, we'll talk about abstraction. All right. So, first of all, why do we need abstraction, or what is an abstract class basically? Well, abstract classes are nothing but just a normal class with at least one of the methods as a pure virtual function. Now, what does this mean? It means that a pure virtual function is nothing but a function without any definition. It's just a signature. So why do we need an abstract class when we can just create a normal base class and do the inheritance like this? Well, when you have a very big class or very big networks of classes where you're using multiple methods of inheritances and all these things, what happens is you at some point you forget the structure of the class. Like, let's say we take this function as an example. You're using the palindrome function, and these two methods, just let's just suppose that these two methods are not methods of the string, but you have written these methods inside this base class, which is class A. And now while inheriting, you're just overriding the palindrome class. Now let's say I want to access the string class from class B, because I'm not going to, I don't know that there exists a class A, which is the base class of uh, this class B. I just know that I created a method from class B because this definition won't be visible to me, right? So as I told you, we'll be writing these class definitions inside different files. So when I use that function, when I use that class to create an object, so what I'll be seeing is this thing. So from here, I cannot make out what is the base class or what is the super class or what is a parent class and all these things, right? So what I can tell is this function, I cannot even tell whether this function overrides something or not. For me, this is a completely new class. But inside, let's say you're just overriding this function, and suppose you forget to override these two functions, which may be a dependency. For right now, it is not a dependency at all. But let's say that while overriding, you do need these two functions, not necessary for the palindrome function, but for some other function. These two functions, rbegin and rn, are written by you inside the base class, and they are necessary for the overrided function to perform. So in that case, you are going to get an error and you need to figure out what happened, right? So for this particular problem, for this problem where you forget the structure of the class, at, at some point abstract classes are introduced. So abstract classes, what they do is they have a tendency to just create function signatures. They don't implement the functions, they just create function signatures, so that when you get the functions, you need to write them, you need to define them indefinitely. You can't skip the definition. So that kind of function is called a pure virtual function. Well, virtual we did here, here off in while discussing the diamond problem, right? So the virtual keyword, what it does is it will take care of the fact that there exists only one instance of a class if multiple instances are coming. So a virtual function will also do the same thing, a pure virtual function, but the only difference is that every time you implement it, it will be considered as a new function. It won't be considered as something coming from the base class, right? So let's see how to implement that. What you do is you just write the function definition. So let's say int test. It can be anything, right? So int a and b for now. And what I'm going to do is to make this pure virtual and to make this whole class as an abstract class, I'll just do virtual int test equal to 0. And this statement, there's two extra statements, will make this function as a pure virtual function and the whole class as an abstract class. Now what is the result of this? Now if I try to run this, I'll be getting an error. What does the error say? It's at the creation of the object from class B, it says that it cannot declare a variable of an abstract type. Now, what is the abstract type? Abstract type was A because B does not have any pure virtual functions. but still B is considered abstract because this thing is getting inherited directly. So I need to define this. I'm forced to define this function inside class B while I'm shipping this class so that I maintain the structure. Now, let's say palindrome depends on this test, right? So palindrome depends on this test function, and it is very necessary for me to, if I'm overriding this palindrome function inside the child class, it is very much required to override this test function also inside the inherited class or the child class. So in that kind of a situation, you maintain virtual classes, you maintain pure virtual functions, and you maintain abstract classes. And when you inherit, you can just define that function just like that. So it's basically the same definition. You just need to say int a and b. So these things are already there in b, and you can do something like return a plus b, a simple function. Now, since I've defined this function, I'm not going to get that error. So now if I run this, it will run smoothly and I'm getting one. That is from this palindrome check, which we performed in the last video, right? Now, the other thing is that what if we want to access the functions, the defined functions from the superclass, that is the parent class. So now I do have the function for the palindrome check for numbers. Now if I pass in a string here, it is not supposed to work because string is something which is getting inherited from parent class. So if I do this, if I do this, I'm not going to get a perfect output, I'm going to get an error. So to solve that, what you can do is, to access something from the parent class, you just put the parent name and the scope operator. So this two colons are called a scope operator, and if you combine it with the base class, you will be getting the output run from the function which is inside the base class. Now this will run without an error. Now if I try to run this, I'll be getting one over here. That is because of this one, right? So that's because of this little addition over here, which will make it work for the base classes too. So now if you try to do this for test, so let's say a test, and I do 1 2. So because test will take two numbers, right? Int a, int b. Now if I try to run this, what will I get? I get an error and it says undefined reference to this function. What it means is that this function does not exist in class A. That is because we declared it as a pure virtual function. So once you inherited, it has to be defined inside the child classes, or else the child classes are also going to be considered as abstract classes. And once you implement that function inside the child class, they can be used just like that. So if I just do object.test, which will basically call this function from class B, which does have a definition for test. If I now try to run this code, I'll be getting the output and it returned 3, which is basically 1 plus 2, right? So that is about abstraction and pure virtual functions. So basically, this whole concept will be used only if required. All right, this is not a day-to-day used concept. The abstraction and pure virtual functions, they are not used generally. They're used very rarely when you have a situation where you need to do something like this, or else a simple inheritance will do the job, or not even inheritance, a very simple class can also do the job for you. So these are highly advanced concepts which you may use or may not use in your whole career, but it is a always a good thing to know that these exist in case you come across a situation where you need to implement something like this. So with that, let's end this video, and in the next video we'll move away from these class object concepts, and we'll do something exciting. We'll learn how to interact with files on our hard drive using the file stream, and with that we can also explore more about the vastness of object oriented programming paradigm. Well, as I told you, object oriented programming is a paradigm, it's a style. It totally depends upon the problem whether you need to use object oriented programming or not. This is not a part of C++, but this is a part of programming itself. So with that, let's close the object oriented programming for now. Let's deviate from that and let's talk more about general programming, dealing with files, how to read files, how to write to files, and all these things, and then come back to object oriented programming with new concepts. So, till then, happy coding.